If you are deciding to opt for one of the suites related to the arts, so art and design, during your year 9 you will be covering fine art, art textiles, art and design and craft, photography and graphics. Now, what does that mean? So within fine art we focus on developing drawing and painting skills. And the way that we do that is we investigate the works of other artists as a starting point, and then we focus on key skills, so traditional key skills within drawing and painting, and you will be working towards producing a portfolio of work that is similar to this particular work. So as you can see here, we've really refined the drawing and painting skills, and this would be your fine art topic. Okay, so one of the second areas of study that you would be covering in year 9 is we would be covering a art textiles project, and within that we start off by looking at a number of artists, but rather than your final piece being out of canvas and paint, your final piece could be fabric art. So we focus on stitching. It is very creative, it is very textured and textile-y, and these are some examples in which you would be expected to explore. So again here, rather than drawing the underwater world, you would create the underwater world by using fabrics and stitching rather than paint and pencil. So it's just another creative way in which you could experiment with different materials towards creating some interesting pieces of art. So again, there is some painting here, but this has been produced by using wools and fabrics rather than paint. So that would be your art textiles part of your art journey. So the third area of study would be art, craft and design. So within this you would be covering more three-dimensional pieces of work. So that means sculpture, ceramics, jewellery and possibly pottery. So as you can see here, rather than it being a painting, you have got a 3D teapot that has been made out of clay. So you will be offered the opportunity to develop your skills within working within a 3D media, possibly clay and possibly metal or wood. So you would be producing a 3D piece rather than a 2D piece. So that would be the area of study of craft if you pick the arts. Okay, so another area of study within the arts would be photography. I'm quite excited to offer Year 9s the opportunity to cover a photography project because we've never done this before. However, we have used photography within our fine art projects where students start off by taking photographs. In this particular case, the student has taken a self-portrait and then has developed that through to paint and developed a final piece from her photography. However, if we are offering the photography part of the project within the arts, you will be expected to produce some experimentation of imagery. You will be expected to look at location and portrait and maybe be introduced to some studio photography. So this is something that is quite new but is going to be quite exciting, and you will have at least a 7-week project on photography within your Year 9 art and design. Okay, so another area of study that we will be covering in Year 9 is we will be looking at a graphic design project. And graphic design is all about product, advertising. So you will be covering illustration, advertising and branding. So just the way that branding within Coca-Cola or some well-named brands. So perhaps you'll be coming up with your own brand and your own design for a product. And we'll be looking at design for print. So these are some of the areas of study that we'll be focusing on within the graphics project. So before we finish, I'd like to just revisit all the areas of study that you will be offered if you go for the arts route. So you will be offered fine art. Fine art is all about developing your drawing and painting skills. Fine art will be your first topic because I think that your drawing skills is probably the most important skill that you will need to be successful in all the other areas of study. Your second area of study will be art textiles, where we will be working with materials, stitching, embroidery, and just coming up with something in a different way. So I'm looking at art textiles as being something a little bit creative and a little bit different. Craft, this is quite exciting because we can make jewellery, we can make pottery, we can look at clay and understand the materials of clay and some of the wonderful things we can make from clay. Photography and graphic design. So it's going to be a very busy year 9, but we're going to cover all of these areas of studies so that when you are in year 10, you will know which area of study you want to specialise in. If you've got any further questions, then you can ask me during the option process. Thank you.